But it took a year for the ones that was here to bring this about. Just to talk to 4 or 5 people that's not with me. But this is, whether you believe it or not, and there's a mic there, there's a mic there. When I finish talking to you, or the things that I would like for you to know, you can come and ask me. If you got any doubts at all, whether I am lying or not, you have the opportunity to find out. I'm not going to read your mind. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to answer what you ask. Now, if you ask all the questions that you want to know, and I'll make sure I give you the answers, the answer, not A, the answer, and then you say, well, no, he's still not, then that's your inability to come up with the right question. The person that asks the question controls the answer. If you ask me, well, move to the right, and I move to the left, then I wasn't in your control. I didn't do what you said. If you said move to the right, and I moved to the right after you said it. So you control my movement. So if you think I'm not a law, and you're so smart, then you should be able to know what to ask me to see if I am. Now, if you ask me and you're still in doubt, that's a reflection on your intelligence or the lack of it. I've already seen myself in football stadiums like Billy Graham, talking to our people. Place was packed, jam-packed. So you all are somewhat getting a blessing in advance. You know, you can almost just walk right in. Can you imagine going to a football stadium and it's filled, jam-packed, just to have a few moments with me? Can you imagine what you're going to go through to get in? No, you can't. Well, if I'm there, you're not going to go through much. You're going to walk on in. Because by that time, you're going to know I'm God. And you'd be a total idiot to come with anything other than submission. So we don't have to have a lot of fear of checking you because of me. The checks that you all came through was because of your own self. You're not at peace with yourself. You're not going to run up here and do anything to me other than maybe give me a hug. I mean, for real. I've had people run to me and I knew what they had in their mind when they would come. I looked and said, oh boy, he intends to do some real harm. When he got real close, everything changed. He was my best friend. Amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm going to open the floor up so you can exercise your knowledge, and maybe we'll share a little bit of it. I repeat, when you leave here, I don't know if the tape's going to be duplicated, speed duplicated. You all should get the tape and listen to it while we're gone. And if you can, get your other partners or affiliates, associates, or your family to listen. And when they listen, tell them maybe, or suggest to them maybe to get a paper and a pencil and jot down every lie they hear, every inconsistency that they witness, every mistake that they heard. Jot it down and call me up, 1-800-331-7668, and ask for Allah Royal. And let it be known that you have found some error or mistake or an inconsistency, and you want to bring it to my attention. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you permission to do that and speak directly to me. So if you call and the secretary tells you, well, no, I can answer that, you can say, well, I got directly from Father. I got it on the tape. I need to speak directly to him. I may tell him stay on the phone so you can have a witness. I don't need one. So you can have one. Anybody got any questions for me? Yes, sir. Come to the mic. Yeah. The sisters, you all have some? You can go to the mic there. You may ask me, yes, ma'am, right there. You may ask me whatever you like to ask. All right? Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, brother. What I'd like to ask, answer this question for me. Who came first, God or the universe? And how did you create yourself?
Well, God or Allah came first. And from him, all the matter that you see that we call universe was made from him and put in order. Order. It was put in motion and then put order to it. So that's what came first. Now, as far as how did I create myself, I did it the same way that everything is being done. It's still being done the same way. Even when you want something, the word or the expression is want. Before there was any motion that had any type of intelligence to it, any direction or purpose or aim to it, there was motion because there was matter. But it wasn't doing nothing. And after a while, the motion itself developed a want. Like, I want to speak to my people. You came here today, I want to hear what this man gonna say. So it always starts from a want. And then you start to apply the thoughts that will show you that you can accomplish what you want. Then you apply will to it, meaning power or energy, to make sure you actually go or do what you have to do to receive what you want. And that's how it took place. Yes, sir. Everybody understand that? Oh, yes, sir. Let me speak to your sister. Hold the mic up to your mouth.
Okay. My question is this. In the beginning, let me ask you this question. Was there a atom or a molecule moving upon the earth, but had a conscious state of mind with energy moving upon the darkness of the earth, and it went to the center of the earth, created a blood clot from the earth? The blood clot came from the earth? I'm asking the question,
no, ma'am, you almost got it right. There was an atom, and this is what we do with every planet where there is life. If it's going to be intelligent life where we can actually, as a being, not necessarily a person being, according to what that planet has, as a being, we always put an atom there first that will go to work in the way of getting itself ready or taking some of the part of the planet to be comfortable. So when the entity takes the body that the atom produced, it is from that particular planet. So there is nothing that will hurt it because everything that is material comes from that planet. So that's the same thing that happened with this. As far as it being a blood, no ma'am. It was no blood clot. That happens in the person itself. After the sperm is emitted, and then you start to get a clot, and it comes on out to embryo and so forth and whatnot. However, with the being or the shaping of when this took place, before there were females or a woman, before there was even any knowledge of it, the black man, as being God, summons the body that he wanted while he was on the earth, on it, not in it, on it. He would summons the material from the earth as what he wanted, and it would grow up out of the earth like a tree. It wasn't blood at that particular time. until that's why it says, then he breathed the breath of life into it. And once he did that, the fluid that we call blood at that particular time, it wasn't blood, it stayed white. It was a material, but it was a fluid, but it wasn't called blood. And it wasn't a clot. After he got up, then he did everything he was supposed to do to it once he grew up. Then he whispered into it or talked into it and put into it the knowledge of what he wanted it to be. And the wiser he wanted it to be, it would be the deeper that he would summon it from the earth. Sometime it would take 9,000 years for it to actually surface.
Okay. Another question.
Did you understand that?
Yes, I did.
You all understand it? Yes, ma'am.
I know when the body dies, it turns back to dust. But energy do not die.
That's right.
So if energy do not die, when we die, the energy comes out of our body.
Right.
Where does it go?
Well, if you are an original person, when you pass, the same as what you're saying, die, you go to the sun that you see every day. And that's the sun. The sun that you see every day, that rises and sets, and that's where you go.
But where does thought go?
That is it. In other words, the energy, when you are born, you are called an infant. And you're called that because the energy or the Christians call it the soul. The proper term for it is entity. When it goes into the body, now that's summoned from the woman, it comes up a live, living mass of flesh, a baby. But they don't call it a baby yet because the entity that's from the sun hasn't taken it. And so when it comes out, and when it comes in, when it goes in, it calls it an infant because it has now entered this energy that you're talking about that gives the body direction, purpose, and vision. So it's an infant. And after it's there for a certain period of time and you checked it and everything seems to be going well, the union between the entity and the body seems to don't have no conflict, then you can say, well, it's a baby. Because we're still not sure if it's going to turn out right. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Because you're going to have negative and positive there. So it's a maybe. So instead of them saying maybe, we call it baby.
Okay. One more question.
Yes, ma'am.
This is about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I am going to relate to the death of Malcolm X. A lot of people say that the Nation of Islam was responsible for the death of Malcolm. Because they said there was conflict between Malcolm and the messenger. But I think what a lot of people are not aware of is the messenger actually loved Malcolm regardless of what the things that Malcolm was saying. A lot of people hold the nation responsible, but I don't know if they're sure that there are elements that were in the nation that was responsible with the government. Now, I know that the messenger struck out at someone at the top of the echelon. But a lot of people are not aware of how he viewed Malcolm like his son. And a lot of the truth have not came out. And I believe, or would you say, that the real truth about Malcolm X will come out?
Yes, ma'am. It can come out today if you want to. I'm the one that sent him to him. So what do you want to know? I mean, did the messenger like him or love him? Or?
I think a lot of people think that there was dislike between the messenger and Malcolm, but I think that the messenger loved Malcolm like he was his own son, regardless of the things that Malcolm was saying.
He did. However, this is the point. You know, Satan can only hurt you to the heart or to the core only through something or someone that you love. So Malcolm's death didn't please the messenger in the way of that he had to go. However, by him doing and saying the things that he had said and caused the confusion amongst the other members or followers, hurt the messenger. So much so that the messenger said, I loved that brother. I personally taught him. And I will never teach another one like that. I'll never. Because of what he did, what Malcolm did. He betrayed him. So he was hurt, but he didn't stop his going away. That was something that Malcolm caused himself.
But did the messenger not think that Malcolm was out of his mind there for a moment, you know, insane, and that he would return?
No, ma'am.
He didn't think so?
No, ma'am, because this is why. When the messenger asked for someone to help him, to speak for him, to go around to be his national spokesman, he asked Allah. And we told him, so all right, we will send to you somebody, and he will be good for about 10 years. In other words, what I'm saying is, we did not leave the messenger in no guessing game. We allowed him to be just like God. Let him know what's going to happen before it happens. So we said, we're going to send you somebody. And he's going to be good for about 10 years. Then after that, he's going to go against you. So the messenger already knew. However, still living with the man and listening to him, how he pulled the people in, what he was saying and how he was saying it, he knew that this man was blessed to the point where actually almost God was speaking through him. When the 10 years had expired, Malcolm expired. Then he started to go against the teaching and started to repeat things that was against the messenger, bringing about confusion. And he had done such a wonderful duty as representing the message that quite a few, matter of fact, it's written in the book that 1/3 of the followers of the messenger was loyal to Malcolm. So much so when Malcolm fell, it reads in the book that 1/3 of the angels fell with him. And that happened. So Elijah already knew, but that still didn't do anything to him as far as his love for him. The same as with his wife, Sister Clara. Just before she was ready to pass, the messenger asked me, will you save her? And when we first saw her, we told her that you got a sickness in your stomach. She never asked. The messenger never asked to do anything about it. Then when he got time in the 91 or 92, then the messenger asked, well, would you save her? Because he loved his wife. But we said, for what reason? We have nothing for her to do. You should have asked back then. The same as with Malcolm. If Malcolm had never changed and stayed where he was, what he was doing, or just shut up, period, then we may have changed it. But we already knew what was going to happen, and we told the messenger. So the messenger knew, but he still had to go through the hurt. It's like having a child. And the child's a bright, witty child, and everybody sees him, just falls in love with it. But you know something's wrong about that child, but the person don't see it.
Okay, this will be continued. This is from Houston, Texas, in 2002. This is part 1.